Welcome to the Buccaneers Observer. This is Ralph Phillips. Today we're going to be looking at things I found interesting in the Week 6 game against the Green Bay Packers. This is part one of a multi-part series. Now, these are not all the plays in the game, only the ones where I found something interesting worth pointing out. These plays are in chronological order. These are not highlight plays or X's and O's as much as they are Jimmy's and Joe's. If you like this kind of analysis and discussion about the Buccaneers, check out our podcast with myself and Molly Bay. There's a lot to get to in this game, so let's do it. 14-18 in the first quarter. Carlton Davis does an excellent read and react. He sees that they're going to throw it to this guy. These two are blocking. This is fantastic. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of help over top. But he still runs the gun, gets by these two blockers, and gets this ball. This is fantastic play. (14-14) in the first quarter. Devin White, number 45, is covering number 33, Aaron Jones. Jones comes in and then runs across. Devin White gets confused. And Aaron Jones gets open, allowing for a completed pass. This is one of the longest passes of the game for the Green Bay Packers. They're right there. Little mix-up by Devin White. To portend things to come in the first quarter, 10:38. JPP does a little stunt. He acts like he's coming in, and then he comes around. 74 totally misses him, and he clobbers Aaron Rodgers for an errant pass. This could have been a touchdown, but JPP just lays Aaron Rodgers out. 74 totally doesn't see him. Bam! (10:31) in the first quarter. These are the first points scored in the game. I want to point out 31 Winfield. He's been doing this all the time, and I want to mention it because he's going to make it one day. What he does is he comes in and he shoots through this gap and jumps over. Now, a lot of times he gets really darn close. This one, not so much. But just look at this effort. And he's going to make it one day. Just keep an eye on that. 10:27 in the first quarter. This is the ensuing kickoff after the field goal. Keep an eye on this ball. This is amazing. It ends up going way out of bounds over here, but he kicks it straight. You can see the ball curve. The wind is notorious in Tampa Bay, Raymond James Stadium, for being very swirly, but this is amazing. Keep an eye on this ball. Watch how far it goes off course. He kicks it straight down the thing. Whoa, look at that. That wind just pushes it right out of bounds. 10:27 in the first quarter. Now, the offensive line for the Buccaneers have been blocking great for the past few games on the run blocking. You're going to see 78 and 66. They push their guy. 87 goes up against Preston Smith here. Does a great job. Now, they leave a huge hole right here for Ronald Jones to go through. Now, that's all fine and dandy, and Ronald Jones, he ended up picking up 2 yards here. He didn't get touched until he hit 2 yards. What happens is 14, Chris Godwin pulls or goes into motion, and he comes through this gap. He's supposed to be the lead blocker. This linebacker comes down into the hole and ends up making a tackle. Now, Godwin is supposed to block this guy, but he totally doesn't see him and misses him. If Godwin would have made this block, this would have gone for a hell of a long run. I see, look at this hole right here. And it's huge. And there's really nobody. If Godwin would have made that block, Ronald Jones would have just killed it. You see Godwin goes through and he doesn't see this guy. (9:11) in the first quarter. This is 3rd and 2. We have to get to the this line right here. Now, one of the things I've always criticized Shady McCoy for, number 25, is he dances around too much. Now, he's very elusive, but he dances around too much, and this play exemplifies this perfectly. Now, his assignment is to run behind 78. And as you'll see, this is excellent blocking. He's got it. But instead, he decides to shift over. If you look right there, look at that hole. If he would have run behind 78, he definitely would have got to this line. No questions about it. Now, this guy is coming through on this side. This is the guy that ends up making the tackle. But watch what Shady does. He decides he's going to try and hop out this way. Now, this is a great hole. If he would have decided to run that a couple steps back, that would have been a great decision. But remember, all he's got to do is get to this line. And if he would have run straight behind his blocker like he was supposed to, I'm pretty sure he would have got that. But instead, he makes a couple of extra steps, tries to cut. I mean, look at that hole. Look at this hole. That's crazy. I mean, that's great blocking by the offensive line. But instead, he tries to skip over, do some happy feet, and then blam, he's getting tackled. Does not make the first down. 13:59 in the second quarter. Yeah, I like to joke a lot of times about linemen pulling or getting in open space and not blocking anybody. Donovan Smith is probably our best pulling and open space blocker. He comes over here and totally blows up Oren Burks. This is how you pull. This is beautiful. Boom! To the ground. 13:25 in the second quarter. Zadarius Smith, number 55. He ends up beating Ryan Jensen, number 66, our center, getting a hit on Tom Brady. 66, Ryan Jensen just totally whiffs on this block. Totally misses him. Whoop. Bam. All right, I just want to point this out. Buccaneer fans, we got to stop this. This is the first game with general admission, and we should be filling up the stands with nothing but Buccaneer fans. Here's a cheesehead. Here's a whole family of cheeseheads. Here's a cheesehead. Here's some cheeseheads. Here's cheeseheads. Here's cheeseheads. Here's cheeseheads. There's cheeseheads. There's cheeseheads. Now, there aren't that many fans in the stands, but it looks like half of them are Green Bay Packer fans. Bucks, we gotta stop doing this. This is our house. 10:53 in the second quarter. Thank God this was a bad pass or catch. You're gonna see Mercedes Lewis. He just basically runs a seam route, gets wide open. 98 drops back into coverage. Looks like he's covering the flats here. 23 gets covering that guy. This looks like it's the fault of Levante David. 54 with some busted coverage. He drops back, but he doesn't drop back far enough. And you'll see Mercedes Lewis gets wide open. This would have been a huge catch. Look at this. I mean, he's got all this room in front of him. Now 23 is running over. He might would have tackled him before he caught it and ran too far with it. But here's Levante David. I think he's the one who should have been covering this. But lucky for us, it was an overpass. Mercedes Lewis just couldn't get his hands on it.